Hey guys, Happy Dude here, and yes, I am selling my Megane RS. Why exactly? That will become more clearly later in the video. But first, here are the tips for when you want to buy one. First, check the exterior, if the gaps are all even and if all the panels line up correctly, and check if there may be a respray on the car, because a lot of these cars have been in an accident. And then check the tires, the profile, if there's still enough on it, and also check if they aren't cheap knockoffs, and also check the disc brakes and the brake pads if they're still in good condition. And then for under the hood, check the fluids. There are only three. Check the oil level, the coolant and the brake fluid. And then take this cover off to check for any leaks around the engine, and also this cover to check the battery. When you check the coolant, make sure there isn't any oil floating on top of it. If the level of the oil is over the maximum, that means the owner fills up a lot, and that's how you know the car uses a lot of oil. And also make sure the brake fluid is nice and clear. Now the engine is pretty much bulletproof. I know that's very rare because there are a lot of cars out there with a lot of engine problems. But this is something you really need to check. Turn the wheel fully to the left or right and then drive in a circle and listen if the car makes any knocks or cracks or weird noises, because that means one of the drive shafts or linkage to the wheel has worn out. I had this problem a few months after I bought the car already, this piece right here, and I didn't did any track days or anything like that. Now when this piece gets some play, also the wheel gets some play, so when you drive in a straight line or corner, the car could suddenly go to the right or left. Now this is not easy to replace, and the part itself is also expensive, so make sure you check this. And then after I replaced it, the other side was also worn out. Now the seats are very comfortable and also very supportive, but the rest of the interior isn't that good. Like, you get very easy some scratches on the plastic trims. There's also a lot of noise inside the car when you drive on the freeway, so that's also very annoying. And every time you replace a plastic trim or a door panel, there's always something that will break in the interior. The radio really is a piece of junk. It's constant searching for a signal. There's always interference. The sound is very bad. The clutch feels very good when shifting, very solid, not too hard. The shifter itself is a bit noisy, but it does the job very good. What's also a bit weird is the dials for the RPM and the speedometer are at an angle, as you can see. So when you're reading the speed and it says 50, you're actually doing 45. But then again, it's a Renault and not a BMW. The steering wheel feels good though. You have the cruise control plus and minus here, resume and off here. But what's weird is to activate it, you have to press the button way over here for the cruise control or the limiter. That's an odd place to put the button right there. And why not just on the steering wheel? Now the driving itself with the car is very fun. It has a very good feeling on the road. The power delivery is also very good. You have the power immediately when you step on the gas, and it continues all the way to the red line. Now this car is very good at taking a corner, but when you want to put the power down in a straight line, especially from zero, the car has a lot of trouble to put the power down because it's front wheel drive. So this car isn't exactly if you want to do some sprints on the lights or on the drag strip. It's more a car for on the track and the driving experience. Now the maintenance on this car and the parts I had to replace were pretty expensive, I think, especially for a Renault. Like the housing for the bearing I had to replace, because you couldn't replace the piece itself, you had to replace the whole housing. That was 350 euros without labor costs. The spark plugs were 45 euros a piece, so for a Renault that's pretty expensive. So yeah, the costs on this car were actually more expensive than my BMW. And then there's also the fuel consumption. I don't know if you care about this, but it's pretty high, especially because it's only a 4-cylinder turbo 2-liter, but it's above 13 liters per 100 kilometers. So that's pretty high, because my BMW was a 3-liter 6-cylinder, and that was only 10 and a half, and when used on the track it was maximum 11.7 liters. So that gives you a bit of a picture how much fuel this car is using. And also the fuel consumption wasn't accurate, because if I drove under 50 kilometers an hour and I used a little bit of throttle, the computer says I wasn't using any fuel at all, so the meter wasn't correct. So I'm guessing it uses even more fuel than the computer is saying. Okay guys, that was everything I had to tell about this car, and that's why I'm selling my Renault Megane RS. I want something with a bit more quality, comfort, and also I prefer rear wheel drive. But hey, it's a learning process. With each car you buy, you know what you want and don't want for your next car. So I hope this video helps you when you want to buy one. Thanks for watching guys. Bye.